What it do? Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Cook Kitchen. It's your boy Tim, and today we're making loaded spaghetti. That's right, loaded spaghetti. Chicken, shrimp, ground beef, and Italian sausage. Let's get it popping. All right, the ingredients that we're gonna need is 132 ounce of Italian sausage, 1.5 pounds of ground beef, 1.5 tablespoons of pepper, 1.5 tablespoons of kosher salt, 3 tablespoons of Weber roasted garlic seasoning, 5 garlic cloves, 3 32-ounce cans of whole tomatoes, 1 tablespoon of Chef Prudhomme's seafood magic, handful of parsley, handful of basil, half a box of spaghetti, which is half a pound of noodles, 1 pound of shrimp, 2 large onions, 7 chicken tenders, half a cup of whole milk, 16 ounces of mushrooms, 2 green bell peppers, and 1 red bell pepper. Okay, let's chop this onion up. Just like in the last video, peel your onion. You don't want no onion pieces or onion peels in your food, so make sure you peel the onion. Cut the onion in half, then cut little slits in the onion, and then cut the onion in the middle. Then after you cut the onion in the middle, turn it on the side and chop it up. This is going to give you nice little fine onion pieces. Now, let's cut our celery. After it's been washed, of course, just give it a nice little rough chop. Now, in my research, Italians use a buttload of olive oil. Olive oil is actually good for your heart, so you might want to consider that. So in this process, what we're going to do is we're going to fill the bottom of the pan with olive oil. Now we're going to sweat our onions for about 10 minutes to make sure they're nice and tender. After about 10 minutes, we're going to throw in our nicely chopped celery. Next, we're going to throw in our 3 32-ounce cans of whole tomato. Now, after you change your gloves, now we're going to massage tomatoes and break the whole tomatoes into a fine puree. Get in there, don't be scared. Now let's season our shrimp. Throw in that tablespoon of Chef Prudhomme's seafood magic and mix it into the shrimp. Let it marinate for at least an hour. Now this is my favorite part. Paya! Simple hits of a bunch of garlic breaks all the garlic out of it. Now the easiest way to remove the skin from the garlic is just to press it with your knife. As soon as you do that, all the skin is just going to come right off. Once the skin's removed, give it a nice little rough chop. Alright, about after 15 minutes, the celery and the onion are nice and tender. Now we're going to add in our tomatoes. Now, I knew good and well this pan was too daggone small for what I was about to do. So, let me change pans. But first, let's add the garlic and the basil. I'm pretty sure I'm about to make a mess. Next, let's throw in some salt and a tablespoon of black pepper. Give that all a good mix. Right, when it comes to a boil, this is where you want to taste it. You can never take salt out, but you can always add salt. So at this point, this is where you want to make sure that your seasoning is on point. Now let's throw in a cup of mushrooms. Stir in the mushrooms so they can soak in some of that goodness from the pot. Now let's throw out the milk that the chicken's been soaking in. Chicken's been soaking for about an hour, and just rinse it off with some cold water. Now let's chop the chicken up into nice bite-sized pieces. I threw in some more olive oil into the pan and added my chicken pieces. I'm gonna cook these on medium heat for about 5 minutes. Make sure you cook them nice and slow. That way the inside of your chicken isn't raw. Now add in some more olive oil to your pan and throw in the onions. I like to add more onions and more bell peppers to the dish at the end. That way it's gonna give the dish some texture. Now, one thing about seasoning meat, a lot of people just season meat on the surface. What I like to do is I like to make sure that all parts of the meat is seasoned. It's very important. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our meat into the bowl, throw in about a tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of black pepper. And we're just gonna massage the meat. Once we incorporated the seasonings into the meat, then we're gonna re-season the meat and massage it again. Okay, right here, I threw in the meat. We're gonna let the meat cook in our sauce for 2 hours. I repeat, 2 hours. You don't want nobody to get sick. Now we're gonna throw in the onions and the bell pepper into the party. Now let's make some shrimp. Throw in a tablespoon of butter. Cook the shrimp on medium heat for about 2 minutes per side. So, a lot of people don't season their noodles or their pasta. It's very important that every part of your dish has seasoning, because you just wouldn't eat anything bland, so why not season your noodles, you know? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of that Weber roasted garlic, 3 tablespoons, and about 3 tablespoons of salt. And let's add in another tablespoon of salt. And let's bring this water up to a boil and throw in our pasta. Make sure you have enough water in the pot, because if not, the pasta is just gonna clump together. After about 15 minutes, we're gonna strain the spaghetti, and we're not gonna pour water over the spaghetti like most people do, because we want the spaghetti to still have that seasoning on it. So we're just gonna pour it into the strainer and then just let it sit. Don't pour water over it because the seasoning will come off. Now what I've done here is I've shredded my chicken, and now I'm gonna throw it into the pot. We're making loaded spaghetti. Now our loaded spaghetti is done and it's time to enjoy. See how I did? I threw on some shrimp. Couldn't put it on a regular recipe because my wife is allergic, so what's up with this? Very flavorful. Yeah, chicken, Italian sausage, ground beef, and shrimp. Can't go wrong with this. So much protein. This is good, man. Keep telling you I'm a bad boy. Bad boy in the kitchen. I need to come over and get some. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys.